Salutations Cosmonauts! In this episode, we're going to transition into the Tier 3 of the Star Eagle. This is the ultimate endgame tier for this ship, and to me, the endgame is like level 60 and up. I strongly encourage you to watch the Tier 1 and Tier 2 episodes to see how I got to this point, if you're new to this. The links are in the description down below. To accomplish what we want to do, you're going to need like this much money. Yeah, that's a lot of cash, I know. But you're level 60 now. You're at least level 60, right? So I'm sure you got a lot of money already. If not, you probably have a bunch of ways you like to earn money. So yeah. You're also going to need an outpost with a landing pad with a shipbuilder. Now, you don't technically need this, but it does make things so much easier for a few bits and bobs that we're going to be using. And you know, it's really easy to set up. Just drop a beacon somewhere and then the landing pad itself, you know, bada bing, bada boom, piece of cake. You don't even need power or anything for it. And since this is endgame, you're going to want to be at least level 60 to make sure that all the ship parts we're going to use are unlocked. You're going to want at least 3 points in the shield system so you have 60% increased shield capacity. You want to have maxed out ANEUTRONIC FUSION, show that your ship reactor produces 5 extra power. And at least 1 point into automated weapon systems. Why? Because we're going to use turrets. Oh yeah. And since I didn't mention anything about automated weapon systems in the Tier 2 episode, some of you guys may not have this. If you don't, just go to the Serpentis system, do some planet hopping, blow up a bunch of enemy ships, and you should get a level in about, I want to say 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. Not too bad. And finally, you must have completed the mission All That Money Can Buy with the diplomatic ending. Why? Because that's how you unlock the engines that we're going to use this episode. You get that mission from Walter Stroud in the Lodge. Alright, let's start by upgrading a few things here in New Atlantis. Ah! My aching bones!
Anything I can...
Okay, in the Tier 2 episode, I promised you an Armada killer. To accomplish this, I'm employing turrets. They are so much fun, but there was a problem. I noticed something immediately, and I will demonstrate what I'm talking about. So let's move this real quick, and let's put a turret here. And I think you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's put this turret here. I mean, look at this thing. It's ridiculous. It just looks weird. It seems like way too big for this ship. I mean, the physical size of them suggests they were meant for very, very large ships with little to no mobility, so that's the route I originally took. I expanded the ship, the size of the ship until the turrets fit. I also maxed out the cargo capacity because I was just in that frame of mind. And the end product resulted in a large ship with very little of the original parts left. It was at this point I realized that it would have been easier to just delete the ship and build it from scratch, but that defeats the purpose, doesn't it? I mean, you might as well have just never gotten the Star Eagle and just used a hijacked ship. All meaning what I was trying to do was lost, and you know, that's not what the Star Eagle is about. The Star Eagle is not a cargo freighter, it is not a mini Imperial destroyer. So, I started over with a different mindset, and this video is what I came up with. I hope you like it as much as I do. It's going to be a ship that is easily recognizable as the Star Eagle with some crazy firepower that can destroy every ship orbiting Jemison. Alright, so let's get rid of this, put this back, and let's get to business. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to delete our reactor and our grav drive because we're going to come up with something better. So I'm hovering over this point here and I'm pressing G for you controller brothers and sisters out there. Hold down both of your triggers and press A. And this will just show all the parts that can fit into this specific spot. All right, let's go to reactors and we're going to go all the way down. So let's drag this down. And we're going to go with the SF-40 shared flow reactor. I mean, look at that, power generated 40. Freaking amazing. And just underneath that, I'm going to hover over this point here and I'm pressing G. And let's go to the grav drives. Let's go all the way down. And we're going to go with the J52 Gamma grav drive. Grav jump thrust of 50. Oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. And for future preparation, I want to move this up. So I'm selecting it on computer. You're pressing the spacebar controllers. I think it's the right bumper. I'm not sure. I'm sure you controller guys know what to do. And I'm just going to raise it up. That right there. Do the same thing on this side. Raise it up. Boom. There we go. Now we're ready to move on. So we're going to make a couple of trips. Our first trip is going to be into the Sol system. And we're going to Titan, which is orbiting Saturn. It's just right over here. And we're going to go to New Homestead. Okay, we're in New Homestead and we're going to talk to this gentleman over here with his face obscured.
Not anything you need to offer. Anything I can help you?
Build mode. And now let's take a look underneath the Star Eagle. We're going to lose one hab in the process because the ship is going to become much heavier, which means we have to employ some new landing gear. So we're going to lose this. So we're going to lose this hab, and in effect, we're going to raise everything up. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and delete these portholes, delete this hab, and we're also going to delete one of the fuel tanks. Don't worry, we're going to compensate for this. So I'm hovering over this point here, pressing G, and we're going to go into the gears. And yeah, this is what we want, and we want to use the wide version. So I'm pressing the right and left arrow keys, and you can switch between the ones we want, but that's the one we want. There we go. And I'm just going to copy this. So I'm hovering over this landing gear, pressing Control and G to duplicate it, moving that right here. Do it again. Wait a minute. There's a porthole here. We got to get rid of it. Anyways, yeah, we're pretty much going to be deleting all the portholes here. So, boom. All right, so we got the 3 landing gear. It looks ridiculous, but yeah, we're just collecting stuff for now. All right, let's boogie. Let's get out of here. All right, our next stop is going to be Neon. So we're going to go over to the right over here. We're going to go to the Voli system. We're going to go to Voli 2 Alpha. And we're going to go to Neon Core. Okay, so after loading in, we're going to just scurry over here to the Stroud Eklund showroom, which is next to Sigurd's Outfitters and across the way from Voli 2 Hotel. Hit up this kiosk. Go back into build mode. Alright, we're going to upgrade to Class C engines for this because we're going to have 100 mobility as well as 30 light year jump range, yes. So let's go ahead and delete these. I'm hovering over this point here and I'm pressing G. Let's go over to engines. Scroll all the way down until we see the SAL 6830 engines, man. These are the best endgame engines. And yeah, after placing that, I'm going to Control G this to duplicate it. And we're going to put this one over here. And at this point, we're going to delete some more stuff. Let's delete these landing gears. And also delete these Nova thruster arrays. We don't need them anymore. We don't have room for them. And we're going to place the engine over right here. So hover over this attachment point, press G, and add another engine here. Then duplicate this one, place it over here. Pretty cool. Oh, we're starting to get the idea of what's going on here. And yep, we're only going to go with 4 of these bad boys, even though we could have 6. We don't need more than 4 for the size of this ship. If you try to add 2 more engines, you have to start making some weird, goofy, creative choices that I just didn't like. And I like how the 4 engines look. It looks very nice and balanced. And there's another benefit. You don't have to use 12 power to fully operate these engines, man. So we're going to have 4 extra power bars to allocate elsewhere. And we need to pick up one more item, or several of one more item, I guess. So I'm hovering over here, pressing G, and scroll all the way down in your weapons, and we're going to add the Obliterator 250 MV. Make sure it's oriented sideways so that we don't get like weird errors. Do the same thing for this side. Okay. And we need 3 of these. These things have a max power of 4, and 12 being the overall max means we could only have 3, which is cool. I mean, look at these things, man. 104 hull and shield damage. That's freaking crazy. And the range is good, 3,250. So I want 3. Can't add it up here, or else it's going to sit higher than the Docker. So I'm going to put it right here. And orient it so it'll fit. There we go. And we got an error. We just got to assign this. We got to assign this thing. So let's go ahead and assign the weapon so we can get rid of that error. There you go, Bob's your uncle. And our final stop is going to be the Outpost, so we can get to our landing pad with the shipbuilder. So I'm going to mine. Wherever you put yours, that's where you're going to head. Alright, let's get to it. Build mode. And it is here where we're going to do the bulk of our modifications, man. So let's start off by making adjustments to the wings here to support some turrets, build like a weapons platform. So let's go ahead and move this for now. We're going to delete this top cap here, the top Stroud cap A. Now I'm hovering over right here, pressing G. We're going into structures. And we're looking for this. We're looking for the Nova weapon mount. That's where we're going to put that. And now we can go ahead and place this back onto here. And I'm going to place this on the outside edge right there. Right there, yeah. And to finish this off, let's go ahead and press G on this little mounting point right here. Go to the top of structures. And we're going to put an equipment plate. And that's where we're going to put one of these turrets. Boom. Excellent. Okay, so this side is done. And now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So move this weapon, delete this cap, hover over this point, press G, scroll down to the Nova weapon mount, place this weapon on the outside edge on the inside here. There we go. Try not to go too fast. Hovering over this connection point and pressing G. Scroll back up. Get the equipment plate. Boom. And then we're going to move this over here. And we got to lower the plane. Make sure it fits. From this perspective, it's hard to see what's going on. There we go. Alright, so that's done for now. And this is the first dramatic thing we're going to do here. So we're going to get rid of these landing gear. We're also going to get rid of this Stroud storeroom. And yes, we're going to get rid of this landing bay. Oh my god. Now let's look underneath. Under this attachment point here, pressing G, we're going to replace the landing bay with the Deimos version. Pressing G. Whoops. Yeah, pressing G. Let's go into bay. Here's the bays. And we're going to add this right here. The 120 LD landing bay by Deimos. Cool, having done that, let's go ahead and delete this other stuff over here. Let's delete this 2 landing bays here. And then, looking underneath, we're going to reposition this landing bay to be right there. Excellent. Okay, from here, we're going to adjust the bottom. And the reason why I did that, I wanted to clear out the bottom floor to accommodate these landing bays. If we still had this hab here, I wouldn't have had the room for the landing bays that we needed to support the weight that we're going with. Okay, so let's go ahead and upgrade our fuel tanks now. Let's get rid of this one. And we're going to go with the badass fuel tank. And we're going to go with this right here. The H40 Atlas helium tank. It just goes so well with this ship, man. Add another one on this side. Boom. And that looks pretty good. I just don't like how this this gear is kind of exposed. So let's add a little set dressing over here. So I'm hovering over this attachment point, pressing G. We're going to go back into structures. And what was that thing called? I know it's towards the bottom. It's at the very bottom, actually. And we're going to go with the Tayo side cap. Oop. Pop it over there. Makes it look so much better. Do the same thing on this side. There we go. And continuing on our makeover, let's reposition this Deimos Wing Seaport. And we're going to put this right here. So lower the plane. And we're going to put... Wait a minute. Before we do that, we got to get rid of this porthole. And in fact, we're going to get rid of all these portholes. Let's put this over here. And that's going to look nice right there. Let's do the same thing on this side. Get rid of these portholes. And put these over here. Excellent. Raise it back up a little bit. And just to make these lines here a bit more pleasing, we're going to add one of these Deimos, what are they called? Let's see, we're in the structure. Let's go into Deimos all the way at the top. And we're going to go with the Deimos Wing E. Notice the orientation here. Well, pressing the left or right arrows, you can switch it. The orientation. So that's the orientation we want right there. So it looks like that. Do the same thing on this side. Make sure it's oriented correctly. Boop. There we go. And that drastically improves the appearance of these lines. It looks so much better by doing that. And now we want our engines to look a little bit better because right now this looks weird. Having this exposed, so got some set dressing for this too. So I'm hovering over this connection point here. I'm pressing G. And for this, we're going into, I think it's Hope Tech. Yeah, we're going to go with the Hope Tech pipes. There we go. And to me, that just looks so much better. Looks like the engines are tied in way better. Add another one over here. Bada bing, bada boom. That looks good. And let's improve the rear here a little bit also. I don't like this nakedness into here, so I'm hovering over this point here, pressing G. And we're going to go with the Deimos Belle Fore. Goes right there. Add another one over here. Excellent. Alright, so let's go ahead and upgrade our shields. We're going to go with the best shield in the game, so let's get rid of this. We got the engines that can support the weight. So I deleted that Vanguard, hovering over this point, pressing G. And we're going to go with the Assurance, what was it? It was this one, the Assurance SG 1800 shield generator. Look at that. Max shield health is 1600. Damn. Okay, I forgot to account for this last turret here. So before we leave, we're going to do that. But I do want to say something here. In my personal playthrough, I'm not going to have a third turret. I'm just going to have these two, because in order to accommodate this and make it look somewhat pleasing, I'm not happy with what I came up with, but it's the best I could do for now. We're going to go ahead and delete this. We're going to put an equipment plate right here. So we go back to structures, put the equipment plate here, and we're going to move this turret to go right here. Let's change perspective so I can see what's going on. Come on, you. There we go. And that's going to sit there, and now we got this bald spot, so let's go ahead and fix that. Press G. We're still in structures, and we're going to go down into the Nova Cowling 1LTF. And so that's not the best profile, and that's the main reason why I'm choosing not to go with this third turret. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use it. But yeah, like I said, in my personal playthrough, I'm going to keep the original cowling, and I'm just going to delete that turret, because I just think the ship looks way better that way. It is at this point that we're going to color match. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I replaced the textures on my weapons to black them out. So, I'm not sure what yours is going to look like. I think these are red by default, but yeah, I installed a mod to just black out all the weapons, because I just think it looks so much better. Anyways, we're going to do some color matching. So, I'm clicking over a part that has the color scheme I want, selecting the whole ship, and then I'm pressing J. And, you know, there's another mod out there. It's called Star UI Shipbuilder, where there's a copy and paste over here for colors. So on my personal playthrough, I do use that mod, so I highly recommend it. If you're modding your game, I highly recommend it. And in fact, keep an eye out for this mini-series, modding series I'm going to be releasing that goes over every single one of my mods that I'm using in the game, over 100 mods. And I show you, step by step, how to mod Starfield the right way using Mod Organizer 2. But it's unconditional that you're using the Steam version. I'm sorry, guys. It's for Steam, the Steam version of the game. Anyways, let's do some color matching. So having done that, I'm just hovering over one of these sliders. It doesn't matter. So just nudge it once, nudge it back. Color 2, nudge it once, nudge it back. And same thing for color 3. Then hit enter, and boom. Everything is color matched, and I think the ship looks amazing. So this is the basic form of the ship. The only thing we're missing now is one more turret system. And you can't get that here at the Outpost. We're going to go back to New Atlantis for that. So let's go back. Let's get back to New Atlantis. Hey there, pal. Did you miss me?
Need some work? Hey.
Okay, so I'm going to add the first turret that we're going with. And let me show you which turret I'm going with. So I'm pressing G. And it's all the way at the bottom. Okay, so which turret are we going to use? I recommend one of two here. Either go with the PBO 300 Auto Alpha turret, which is the second best turret in the game. It has 27.95 hull and shield damage with a range of 3,000. Or you can do what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with a slightly weaker one. I'm going to go with the Disruptor 3340A Auto Alpha turret. And the main reason is because it just has a slightly longer range, but it's a good bit weaker. The other one had 27.95. This has 21.94 hull and shield damage, but I'm happy with that. And I found that as long as turrets aren't breaking the top line of the ship, they don't look out of place, except for this one. But by placing these here, they kind of just fit in with everything else, and they don't look overly large. Anyways, let's add another one here. Make sure it's oriented towards the front. And the final two, we're going to add to this weapon mounting systems that we added here, and I'm going to put it over right here. Actually, let's see how it looks over here. You know what, that looks better staggered like this. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's place the other one over here on this side. Alright, and then last thing we need to do is assign that weapon, man. Alright, there's something I forgot to do. Since I deleted the workshop at the bottom, I gotta relocate it. So I'm gonna get rid of my armory. I don't use it. After I realized that as soon as you make any adjustments to your ship, even if you just change the paint, change the color scheme of your ship, everything you displayed in your armory gets stored into your cargo, and you got to redisplay it. And I'm just kind of not into it, so I'm gonna change my armory into the workshop. And technically, New Atlantis doesn't sell Stroud Habs, but I discovered something interesting. If you select it like I did, and you use your arrow keys, you could change it. So yeah, I'm changing it to the workshop here. Yeah, we didn't even have to color match. Isn't Isn't that nice? Okay, so this is what we're sitting at. Top speed of 130. It was at 140. We lost 10 speed because we went up, upgraded to Class C engines. Our mobility's at 100. Our jump range is 30 light years. We have a crap load of fuel. Just one of these tanks has 550 fuel. So we have 2 of them. So we have over 1,000 grav jump fuel. Way overkill in my opinion, but we have to do it for aesthetics, you know. Our cargo is at 3620. With Sam Cole on board, it's over 4,000. In my opinion, that's way more than enough. Because like I said, this is not meant to be a cargo freighter. The Star Eagle is not a cargo ship. And I recommend, if you want more cargo, instead of adding more cargo here and just messing up the lines of the ship, I mean, at that point, you're completely changing the Star Eagle, in which case you shouldn't be using the Star Eagle to start from another ship and start from scratch. Go with perks. Upgrade your cargo with perks. You could greatly increase your cargo by just spending some perks. Our shield is up to 1,600. And with our shield systems at 3 perks plus Vasco on board, it's over 2,000. It's like 2,800 or something like that. And I know there's other followers out there that you can get that has higher shield system skills, so we could really jack up your shield even more. But I don't know who he is, where he's at, so I'm sticking with Vasco. So yeah, that's her. That's our Star Eagle Tier 3 complete. Let's go ahead and take her up. And of course, I'm going to give you a new walkthrough. So let's see how everything lined up. Okay, so the first thing we see is our cockpit. There we go. Turn around. And I would have liked to have the ladder going up to the second floor here into the workshop. But the way how this is laid out, because the entrance has to be here, the earliest point to where you can get to the second floor would be right here. And there was no way for me to orient the bay to enter from here without really messing up the ship. So instead, I choose to keep it back here. So you do kind of have to jump to get to your workshop. Hey, why is everyone hanging out at the workshop? Also, here's our docker.
Some folk never leave their hometown.
And everything else should be the same. Here's our crew stations. And if you really do want an armory or you want a pharmaceutical lab or something, you could break this 2x2 hab up into 2x1 habs and make them whatever you want. But I'm keeping this. I like this. All right, let's get into orbit. I wanted to show you guys the final figures with perks and with Sam and Bosco on board. So my shields is at 2880 and my cargo is at 4181. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Oh man, I love how the Star Eagle looks like now. I love how this looks. I mean, look at the lines of this ship. It's so cool. Alright, so let's divvy up our power. There, divvy it up. Look how much power we have in each of the weapon systems. This is crazy. I just want to show you guys that this is, in fact, on very hard. Awesome, let's get back to it. Alright, let's pick a fight. Start with this guy.
Got a really nice pocket. Kinda make love rough. It's thick, it's long, it's well hung. It's a really nice one. Got a really sweet snap. To make love last. It sustains, remains in position. To fulfill any mission. Got a really sweet treat. It'll put your home into heat. If you got the room, I got the meat. It's a really sweet treat. It's a really sweet treat. It's big, yeah, it's juicy and juicy. It performs any duty. You can reach me on the phone. Dial 269 no. Dial 269 no. Got a really nice clock. It's kinda will make love rough. It's thick, it's long, and well hung. It's really sweet stuff. To make love last. It's a state, remains in position till it fulfills any mission. Got a really sweet treat. It'll put your room into heat. If you got the room, I got the meat. It's a really sweet treat. It's mature. It's independent. It stands for power. It could take days and even hours. Foreplay, my time.
And that's pretty much it, guys. We wiped them out. Yeah, the Star Eagle is pretty formidable, man. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility, as they say. So I hope you found this video entertaining. I hope you got some inspiration, maybe. And enjoy the end game, man. The Star Eagle, nothing can touch the Star Eagle now, man. We are a force to be reckoned with. So thank you for coming by. I really appreciate your support. Keep an eye out for my modding videos, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode.